Welcome to Top 10 Get Fit. Warning: be sure to consult with a physician before beginning this or any other fitness program. Before trying to do this exercise, we recommend you watch the video all the way through. The crunch is a safe and effective exercise for training one of the major abdominal muscles, the rectus abdominis, also known as the six-pack muscle. Or when someone says you have washboard abs, they're talking about this muscle. As you can see, the muscle runs basically from the pubic bone to your sternum. It's important to know the anatomical position of a muscle because it helps you visualize the muscle when you're working out. Okay, let's take a look at the starting position. For a basic crunch, you begin lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, and your hands behind your head. Okay, now from this position, let's look at the exercise. To begin with, just look at a few reps so you can take in the basic motion of the exercise. The basic movement of a crunch is pretty simple. You raise your shoulder blades off the floor 2 to 3 inches while keeping your lower back and hips stable on the floor, and then you lower your shoulder blades back towards the mat. In this motion, you kind of curl your chest towards your hips. Watch a few more repetitions so this movement sinks in, and then we'll move on to some more detailed trainer's tips. Now let's look at this exercise in more detail. A common mistake is interlacing your hands behind your head and pulling your head forward as you crunch. What happens in this situation is you actually use your arms and shoulders to help pull your body up as opposed to using your abdominal muscles. So you want to place your fingertips behind your ears to support your neck and head, but not pull your head forward. This way you'll make sure that your abs are doing the work and not your shoulders and arms. That's the only way you're going to get those washboard abs. Another common example is driving the chin forward on the chest. So you want to have a proper distance between your chin and your chest. And a good way to measure this is stick your fist there. You want a fist distance between your chin and chest, or an apple, whatever metaphor works for you, and you want to maintain this position throughout the entire exercise. Another key training tip is neutral spine. You don't want to arch your back up, creating extra space between the floor and your lower back and putting extra stress on the spine, and you don't want to force your back down into the floor, also putting extra stress on the spine. There's a natural curve in your lower back, and you want to let that natural curve happen while you're doing your crunch. It may be very small, even as thin as a piece of paper, but you don't want to force the spine in either direction. Now let's review the key points for this exercise. First, let's take a look at the shoulder blades. When you do a crunch, you want to raise your shoulder blades off the mat 2 to 3 inches. You want to use your hands and arms to just support your head, not pull your head forward. You want to keep the proper distance between your chin and your chest, a fist or apple's distance. And you want to maintain a neutral spine throughout the exercise. Now let's take a look at the breathing for this exercise. For the crunch, you want to exhale on the way up and inhale on the way down. One more time, exhale on the way up, and then inhale on the way down. And 2, you want to control this motion throughout the entire range. That means on the way up and all the way down. And you want to keep constant tension on the muscle. So when you get to the mat, don't rest your shoulder blades on the mat for a second and then do your next rep. Let your shoulder blades just barely kiss the mat and then use your ab muscles to curl back up. And that's the last important element we want to talk about. Always feel the movement initiate from your abs, from the center of your body, and put your mind in the working muscle. That way, you're going to get the best results in the least amount of time. Okay, now you can take all these principles into your ab workout or your exercise class and get more out of your crunches. Remember, train hard, train smart. For more workouts and information, go to top10getfit.com.